What if success didn't need to feel stressful? What if it felt light and clear and deeply fulfilling from the inside out instead? Hi, I'm Janet Mohapi-Banks, and I'm a best-selling author for my book, The Habits for Happiness, and a transformational happiness coach for high achievers and soul seekers who wake up feeling empty despite their outward success. Using my unique methodology, the Mohapi Method to More, which blends neuroscience, psychology, spirituality, and manifestation techniques, all of which are underpinned by mindset work, I help you to go from burnout and dissatisfaction to living a life that feels as good as it looks. So if you'd like a taste of how my work can help you too, I invite you to join me in my free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Happiness. The link is in the description. Okay, so let's be honest. On paper, everything looks amazing. You're successful, accomplished, and focused. People admire your work ethic, your results, and your drive, and you've built a life that many people would absolutely love to have. But inside, it doesn't always feel like success, does it? You keep going, you keep achieving, but that deep sense of happiness, that sense of, yes, I've arrived, it doesn't seem to land, right? And maybe you've started wondering, why doesn't this feel better? Why does it still feel like there's something missing? If that's you, I want you to know that it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because the mindset that got you here might not be the one that allows you to feel at peace here. For most high achievers, that story begins really, really early. You learn that doing well earns you gold stars and praise, that success earns love and admiration, that working hard makes you feel valuable. It's not necessarily something anyone directly taught you, but it's what life consistently reflected back to you, yeah? And over time, performance became your identity. Your worth got braided together with your output, and achievement became more than a goal. It became the way you felt safe in the world. That was certainly true for me. When I ran my luxury wedding cake business, everything looked incredible from the outside. I was featured on wedding TV, in magazines, invited to really glamorous parties, and I had great clients. To the world, I had made it. But internally, I never felt like I arrived at being successful. When I got to where I thought I wanted to be, imposter syndrome kicked in really hard, and there was always something to prove. A sense that if I didn't keep pushing, I'd fall behind or lose everything. So, I just kept going, even when I was exhausted, and even when my body started to giving me really, really clear signs. And eventually I began vomiting multiple times a day, every day. But still, I just pushed through because that's what I believed strong, successful women did. Until one day I just couldn't do it anymore. And I landed in bed, thoroughly burned out for 5 years. And it was in that stillness that I realized a fundamental truth. And that was that the way I'd been taught to do success actually robbed me of the things that I thought it would give me. Things like happiness, peace, joy, and freedom. The very things I was chasing through achievement were actually being blocked by it. And maybe you felt that too. Because the problem isn't that you don't know how to succeed. You absolutely do. You've proven that over and over and over again. The real question is, why doesn't success ever feel like success? Why doesn't it ever feel enough? And this is where everything begins to shift. Because what you're really chasing isn't the goal. It's the feeling that you hope the goal will deliver. Maybe that's validation, security, happiness, peace, or ease. A sense of finally being able to breathe fully. But when that feeling doesn't come, when the goal doesn't change your inner world, your mind quickly sets a new target, hoping that this one will do the trick. And just like that, the loop continues. So you're always reaching, but never quite arriving. And from the outside, it looks like ambition or drive, like a commitment to excellence. But inside, it feels like stress and tension, like you're always performing, like you're never safe enough to stop. Because here's the thing, right? Your subconscious doesn't care about your happiness. It's not wired for fulfillment, it's wired for survival. Its only job is to keep you safe using patterns learned from your past. So if your nervous system learned that being good, being reliable, being high performing kept you safe, well, it'll cling to those behaviors, even if they're burning you out. That's why slowing down feels so uncomfortable, and why rest makes you feel anxious, and why success never actually feels like security. Your brain is simply repeating what it knows, and this shows up in really subtle ways. Maybe you say yes to things you don't really want to do, or maybe you struggle to celebrate a win before your mind just jumps on to the next thing. Maybe you can't stop rewriting your to-do list, even when you're supposed to be relaxing. It's subtle, but it's constant, and it runs so deep. In those moments, no matter how many affirmations you say, your body still doesn't believe that it is safe to find peace. Because somewhere inside, there's a belief that if you stop performing, you'll be forgotten, judged, or replaced. Or even worse, you'll lose everything you've built. And that's why so many people backslide, not because they're not disciplined, but because they're still wired to equate their worth with their work. But what no one tells you is that you don't have to abandon your ambition to feel free. And you don't need to let go of your drive or your goals. You just have to stop carrying the belief that says you're only valuable when you're producing. That shift isn't from ambition to apathy, it's from pressure to peace. It's not necessarily about doing less, it's about doing everything from a different energy. Imagine showing up to your goals, your relationships, or even your business from a place of already being enough. Not needing to prove anything, just expressing what's already true. That's when things really do start to change. Because when you stop using all of your energy to manage the internal threats, your brain finally has space to properly create, imagine, and receive. And you move out of survival and into true expansion. And that's exactly what we explore inside my free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Happiness. So if you're ready to feel the peace that you've been chasing, this course will help you to start building the neural pathways that make peace feel familiar. The link is in the description. Okay, so let's bring this into something really practical. Most high achievers filter their decisions through a subconscious question of, will this make me feel like I'm doing enough? And because that measurement is always external and always shifting, peace becomes impossible. But if you shift the question and start asking, does this reflect who I choose to be? Is this aligned with the life that I actually want? Then everything softens. You're not reacting, you're consciously choosing. And that choice is rooted in clarity, not fear. When I burned out, it didn't look like a weekend of rest and bouncing back. Like I said, it looked like 5 years of daily vomiting. It looked like being in bed more than I was out of it. And it took everything I had just to hold on to living. I didn't choose to slow down. My body forced me to. And only then did I begin to see how deeply I tied my worth to what I could do. letting go of that pressure wasn't easy. Even from my bed, I was still starting new businesses in my head. It was a gradual unraveling to release myself from that mindset. But it's what made space for something real to grow when I recovered and was no longer actively dying. These days, success feels like that morning I spent walking in the sunshine with my son. It was 11 a.m. on a weekday. We found a new park just up the road. We had a coffee and we just hung out. And when I asked him what he thought success meant, he said, "This, just hanging out." And he was right. In that moment, I wasn't chasing anything. I wasn't performing. I wasn't thinking of all the things that I should be doing. I was just living, being present, peaceful, and I felt good. I felt proud. And that's what success feels like now. Simple, spacious, and 100% mine. The shift didn't happen overnight, but it started with one simple question. What life would I create if I already believed that I was enough? So let that question live with you. Let it breathe through your day and let it begin to soften the places where success has felt heavy. Because true success feels spacious. It allows you to just be. And if you're ready to live from that space, I'd love to invite you to join me in my free Rewire Your Brain for Happiness mini course. Like I say, it's designed for high achievers like you who are done chasing peace and ready to feel it instead. You'll find the link in the description. And if you haven't seen it yet, I invite you to go and watch my video on how high achievers live a happy life. It'll help you to understand why your achievements might not have brought you the fulfillment you thought they would. Just click there to get that video now. I look forward to seeing you in my community. And if I don't, well, just know that you've got this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.